So you know what I realized
What?
when all this happened? And I read the things and stuff. I was like, well, the next time Nigel fat shames me on the podcast, I now have some things that I could call him. Hi, and welcome to Rice to Meet You, a comedy podcast about Asian culture. I am your host, Evelyn Mock.
And I'm your co-host, Nigel Ng.
Yay.
Episode 91.
So, hi, everybody. It's been... What have you been up to this week, Nigel? Anything particular happen?
Nothing really. Pretty uneventful.
God.
Business as normal. Just going through life. Same old. Commuting and the same stuff.
Commuting. Oh, God. I was
Nothing
dreading this record.
What do you mean? I don't know what happened. What happened?
I leave you alone for a week. You go back to Malaysia for 1 week. Because I've been working this week filming and we haven't been in contact, and I leave you alone for a week and this happens. Like, what? Nigel.
Listen. I hope. Let me just say this, okay? Mm-hmm. If you're not aware of what happened to me this week, just go ahead and Google me. And once you Google me, just so you know, I've been very, very misunderstood, and don't believe everything you see online. Okay? That's all I can say. There's no way for me to explain it more because it requires... The more I say, the more I'll be misunderstood, because this is a cross-country, almost a geopolitical issue. So it's complicated. Too many layers. I've already been misunderstood in the worst way possible. And that's all I'm going to say.
Well, okay.
And yes, Evelyn, I do need you. Please don't leave me for another week. Just come back. Be the same CD as me.
Honestly, what this proves is that you need me more than I need you.
Yes.
I mean, if there's anything, nothing's clearer than that to me. Oh my God. And yes, it's been quite a week for Nigel. And the thing is, we're not going to talk about it on the podcast because, well, out of respect for me, really, which is quite nice, Nigel, and for the podcast, because it really doesn't have anything to do with us. And if we do bring it up here, then it'll complicate things even further.
Yeah.
I'm
considerate, people. I'm considerate. I do not want to drag Evelyn into this.
But yeah, thank you for that. But also, so you know what I realized?
What?
When all this happened, and I read the things and stuff, I was like, well, the next time Nigel fat shames me on the podcast, I now have some things that I could call him.
Listen, I have never fat shamed you since that one episode last year where you told me off. And I've changed my behavior. Are you trying to get me canceled again? What kind of friend are you, Evelyn?
Oh my God.
I have never fat shamed you since then.
I know.
Tell the listeners now. Tell the listeners. It was only that one time that I apologized.
No, I just honestly I
fault.
hope you're okay. I hope you're okay because
I will get through it, people. Yes, I need you whether you need me. Sure, I admit that. So please don't go to South Korea this year, Evelyn. I know you talked about it in the last episode. Please change your mind, please.
I'm going to move to South Korea.
No.
But I will say, yes, I am working on being more positive this year, and Korea is one of those things that I really want to go to, because I will say, like, after talking about it last week on the podcast, I received a lot of messages and emails. I haven't been able to respond to them all, but a lot of messages and emails, and even an email from like a producer friend that we know that listens to the podcast, which makes me really anxious because we say such stupid stuff.
I know.
On the podcast.
I know.
And she's a real professional person that I want to work with someday. But shout out to, you know who you are. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, okay. Back to my Korean adventure. If I get to go to Korea, if I get in, I am very excited because, as I said, so many people sent me messages and they were like, yes, come. Like, you know, it's still, as I've perceived and people have written me, it's like the situation is serious there, as it is everywhere at the moment. But they're putting out the vaccine so that people will probably get vaccinated, a big percentage of the population at least, by March.
Oh.
And so, yeah. So in that case, I feel more comfortable, and I feel it's more respectful to wait until March to go in that case. But I definitely want to go this year. Sorry.
Are you going to get the vaccine before you go?
Yeah, I'll try and get the vaccine here. Yeah, in Sweden. Yeah. So that I can be okay. Because honestly, like, yes, I will, because I want to, I want to go out and explore Korea. And so I want to learn about the Korean culture, because my ultimate goal is to write a K-drama. Like, I would love to write a K-drama, and I'm a foreigner, so I have to learn about the culture, and I have to know, I have to just, know things. And so if I want to do that, I have to go out and explore. And so I have to be COVID free. So that's why I want to wait until that can happen, because, like, I know how it is when people aren't respectful of, other people in Corona, because I live in Sweden. That's like taking this whole thing as a joke. Well, not at the moment, because the restrictions have become much stricter, because they see, like, it's really bad. But still, I was on a film set this week filming, and key members of the crew were walking around coughing, despite the fact that, like, they had issued, like, a rule that if you have symptoms, you need to stay home. But key members were walking around just coughing, like, hard. And I was like, this isn't okay. And that's why I'm here. Like, I'm in a different space, because I'm in an apartment quarantining for my parents, because I didn't want to risk it.
Really?
So,
is that the real reason you're in a nicer looking apartment? Or
yeah,
is it because you're so ashamed of your messy backdrop that you decided, I want to change, Nigel. I want my backdrop to look good. And so you got this special apartment just for this podcast.
Yeah, just for this one episode of the podcast.
Yeah. It was going to be an important episode that a lot of people tune into. But listen, Evelyn. It's okay. You can just admit that. I understand. You can just say you were ashamed of your past. And now you want a better backdrop for your podcasting. You want to take it to the next level.
I'm going to be honest. I have started the year with a bang, because I have bought a new microphone, and I have learned how to adjust the exposure on the camera so that I don't look like a ghost.
When you said I want to start off the year with a bang, I thought you actually had sex this year. I'm like, what? What? This is bigger news than my cancellation. Listeners, you don't know how big news this is. If Evelyn had sex with someone this year, like, this will be in The Guardian, the BBC. Please have sex this year, so you can just kind of push my news story down.
Oh my God, the lengths that I have to go through to diffuse your shit.
Uncle Roger's co-host finally had sex after 10-year-long dry spell.
Uncle Roger's co-host. Oh my God, that is so funny. That would
Yeah.
be so funny. And I'm like, it has almost been 10 years.
That
Oh
is
my God.
the biggest news story.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
A decade.
That's so
A
funny.
decade.
A decade.
So when you
Well,
celebrated 2020, will you be like, with 2021, you're like, oh, new decade, or you like, oh no, decade 2 that I'm not having sex in. Oh no, oh no.
Oh my God. First of all, it'll be 2022. And second of all,
Is that your goals for next year? Your New Year's resolution isn't even for a resolution for this year. Wow.
oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, I will say, I sent you a text earlier this week or like last week or something. Do you remember that when I sent you a text?
You sent me a lot of texts this week, so no.
I did send you a lot of texts.
Yeah. I don't remember much. You have to understand. My notifications
Oh my God.
have been popping off, and it's not the nicest things people are saying to me. So you have to understand. I don't give a shit if you texted me at all this week. It doesn't register in my memory because I am being harassed and bullied by the internet right now. So apologies, Evelyn, that I don't reply to your WhatsApps in like 5 minutes. Okay? I'm being cyberbullied while I'm in quarantine, by the way.
I know. You're in quarantine.
Yes, I'm alone, and the
Oh,
only
God.
thing I can do is look at a screen. So, what did you text me again? Please remind me. A lot has happened. I don't know if you know, Evelyn, but a lot has happened.
I can't believe we're trying to record an episode of the podcast. I just can't.
Mid cancellation. What better time to do it? I'm free
And
now.
we're not even.
I'm free now.
Oh God, we're not even talking. I mean, what am I? Oh, mom and dad, I'm sorry. What's happening? Okay. Okay, so I texted you. So there's this thing I am very bad at perceiving if somebody is interested in me. I think we've probably talked about it. It's known to people who know me. I'm very bad at it. Like, if somebody's nice to me, I think they're interested in me. And then if somebody's actually interested in me, I don't get it at all. And so I've done this thing, like we have this inside joke. Maybe it's just me who has this inside joke and Nigel's just exposed to it. But like I tend to do, so whenever like there's something that comes up, I'm like, then I screenshot like a text or something if I'm texting with someone, and then I send it to like Nigel and also some other friends, and I always ask, is he flirting? Like it's just kind of like a funny thing. And so this last week there was one of these situations. I screenshotted it, I sent it to like 5 people, and then this is the first time that all of them have come back unanimously saying, yes, this guy's flirting with you. And I was like, what? Like, it was just like, and then you answered me and you were like, LMAO, like you were like laughing my fucking ass off. How more obvious can a guy make it? Yes, he's flirting with you. And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
You want to read the text out to our listeners so they can see how you think I'm bad at emotions and pick it out on people's feelings. Like, you're terrible too. Just different things, different emotions.
Okay, I will read it out. This is very embarrassing. We were talking about rom-coms at one point, and then, but this came. He was commenting on my, like, I did an AMA, Ask Me Anything on Instagram, and then he commented on it on a photo, and we just kind of chatted a bit about that, and then he said, "Hey, would you like to talk on the phone sometime? Bit random, but I'm sure I'd enjoy that." And then without thinking, I was like, haha, 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 yeah, sure. I'm filming this week, but maybe next. Like, and then, like, And then he was like, oh, yeah, of course, sure. And then, we talked about some other things. And so I screenshot this and sent it to Nigel, and he was like, he's flirting. And I was like, why? Why? And then the first thought, so I was like, okay, so he's flirting, but I always thought that it was just friendliness because he's a comedian as well, and we met at a gig, and then we had a Skype session talking about comedy because he wanted to do like a festival in the UK, and so I just talked about it with him. And then after that, we haven't talked at all on online or on the phone. We've just been like DMing on Instagram, and then after that, after you said that, I went through all the messages, and then I found that on the 3rd of April this year, he'd also written, if you're up for it, we could call each other at some point. And immediately
April
when I
of
saw
last
that,
year.
April of last year, 2020.
Wow. Okay.
And so and then immediately I remembered it in my mind. I was like, oh my God, yeah, that happened. And I remembered that when I saw that, I was like, why is he being weird? Why does he want to call me? Oh, that's weird. Oh, well. And then I see what I answered. I was like, yeah,
So
sure.
hopeless.
Let's do a house party. Haha. And then he did the smiley. He did the man smiley that you told me about. The
colon parentheses. Yeah,
Colon
the manly smiley, people. Not the emoji shit. If you want to be manly, no emojis, okay? Call it toxic masculinity. But I don't believe in emojis when you're flirting.
So he did that. And
I believe in one emoji when you're flirting, the smirking emoji. Then,
oh my God.
you say something a little bit risque. That and the colon parentheses.
Well,
So,
he did the colon parentheses.
Smirking's
and
coming.
I remember,
Is smirking coming? Smirking
I don't
emoji
know.
coming?
I don't know because then.
Why don't you start the smirking emoji?
Well. I feel so uncomfortable because.
What does he do? Does he have any? Is a segue for you to ask for a nude or something? Is there a segue like that?
I don't want a nude.
Really?
I don't want a nude. He has a nude on his Instagram. No.
So just go to that post, that nude post, click the airplane button, okay, and then send it to him. And then you say, any more stuff like this? Smirk. Before our phone call, I'd just like to know. Any more stuff like this? Smirk. You will save the time for 10 phone calls. You will skip 10 phone calls ahead. And you are not young anymore, Evelyn. So time is of the essence. Yeah, cancel me on that, people. Cancel me on that. I call Evelyn old. Cancel me on that.
I don't think that's what's going to be the cancelable thing in all of what you just said.
Listen, I know tips to save you time. Time is precious. Okay? So you need to, if you send that text, it's like skipping 10 dates.
I don't know. That is going from a smiley to nudes, that is insanity. That is like insane behavior.
You're not asking for nudes. You're just asking if he has more of that. You're not coming out straight out, hey, you got nudes.
God.
And just saying, oh, this, any more where that came from?
Oh, God. You know what my immediate reaction was after I saw that he did the man smiley?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, oh,
he
did the man smiley. Nigel told me about this.
The man smiley.
The man smiley. And my immediate reaction was, he's interested in me. Oh my God. I've been myself around him.
Exactly. Do not be yourself. This is the biggest dating pitfall I've ever heard. Do not be yourself.
I know. Even though I
listen.
enjoy myself right now, but
the things I tell you to do, if it makes you squirm, that means it's the right thing to do. Because if it makes you comfortable, that means you're gonna just keep being yourself, right? And look where that has gotten you. You need to
Well-
do some stuff that makes you a bit uncomfortable.
I'm not the canceled one.
Oh, I wish I had a soundboard. Pow, 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 pow. See, people, you
Being
keep...
yourself? How's that working out for you, Nigel? You're right. You can't resist it. It's irresistible. It's irresistible.
You have so
It's
much
just
ammo
there.
now. You have so much ammo for the rest of the year. 2020, I kind of bullied Evelyn on the podcast, and the listeners brought it up. It's good-natured, okay? So 2021 is Evelyn's turn, okay? I got it coming. And it's also good-natured, and I will take it because we are friends and because we want to entertain you. It's not bullying. I love this.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And
I'm
now,
okay.
And now
I'm okay.
I'm switching the roles. I'm happy to laugh at you burning me. It's fun. It's fun. I want you to burn me like this. This will give you ammo for the rest of the year, and you you can burn me as much as you want. I won't get offended. Okay, it's hilarious because I know it comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and when I get random messages online that say shit things, really harassment level things to me, I know it doesn't come from a place of love, and that's the difference, people.
Okay, so this is what's happened since I discovered. I was like, maybe this guy is interested.
Hey,
so
he is the only thing stopping you from getting crystals right now.
you do not believe how true that is. Like, it is insanely true. And maybe he listens to this. I don't know. But if you do,
and I think he's a keeper, man. He was interested in you since April last year.
yeah,
That's great.
Like, we've been, because the thing is, I remember
I don't wear the same clothes I wore in April last year. He's loyal. He's a keeper.
You make him sound like a dog. Since April last year?
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's loyal.
Someone who like
Doesn't
chases after
falter.
you for a year. Send
I
him
mean,
the
it's-
smirk emoji, please. And I
It's
say
not like,
this out of love.
it's not, thank you, Nigel. But it's not like constant. I mean, it's like, it goes sometimes, sometimes it's like every other month. Sometimes it's like, we're not constantly texting. Like,
Yeah, then there'll be like a psycho
Maybe-
move because you haven't reciprocated. It will be psycho of him to keep texting someone who hasn't shown any sign of interest back.
oh.
He would be a psycho if he kept texting you every day. You're like, ha 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 maybe ha ha. He'll be a psycho.
I mean, I do have people who do that too to me, and I just don't reply. But is that how it works?
You have to give a little bit. You have to give a little
God.
bit.
Well, I did. So after I saw that, I went in on his profile, and I liked one of his stand-ups, and then then he posted stories, and then I sent like a heart. I sent like a reaction to one of his stories, but then he saw it, and then he didn't like it, and so I was like, oh, okay, he's not interested. I was mistaken.
Sending a reaction to a story
Okay.
is not romantic interest. My sister sends me reactions to my stories. Okay?
What do I do? So should I suggest
Suggest
be like,
a
hey,
time. Suggest
you
a
wanna
time.
talk now? Well, so I said next week, and then he just said, yeah, sure. He didn't suggest like a time.
No, you need to suggest a more concrete time. Down to
But
the
he
hour.
could have said like Tuesday or something. Or
Well, why can't you make a move, you coward?
okay. I will make a move. And
We
I'll let you
achieved
know how it
something today,
goes.
listeners. And if this is going to be my last episode ever of the pod, and I want you to know, this podcast achieved something. Evelyn will end this year with a bang.
We've not even started this year.
Because that's how long it will take you to get to that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so yes, I am in quarantine. And thanks for asking. This podcast is me trying to help Evelyn. And then I have listeners who say they prefer Evelyn to me. And I'm like, am I not the kind one on the podcast? But anyways, yes, I am in quarantine. And
yes, you're wearing that pink bracelet. I was gonna ask you about it.
Yes. This
You have
pink
to wear
bracelet. Yeah, they cut it off after you're done quarantining. And if you have this episode comes out on Tuesday, right? So 2 days ago, Sunday, I would have the new Uncle Roger video will be up by then, and I won't have this bracelet on in that video. I didn't take it off. It was because it wasn't put onto me yet. You only get the bracelet after a few days in quarantine.
Why?
Just maybe, I don't know, staffing shortages or something. I guess technically you're supposed to have it the moment you step in, but sometimes there are delays, and that's okay. So that's not me taking it off, people. Oh, I don't need that more shit. Because when I came back to Malaysia, I filmed an Insta story. Say, hey guys, back in Malaysia, just have for another lockdown. Yay. And then all the newspapers picked it up. You know, Uncle Roger's back. I wonder what he's going to do in Malaysia. What exciting things he's going to film. Well, my parents live here and Chinese New Year is coming up. You guess why I'm back. Let's try to see them. I'm a person too, you know. I'm a person too, you know. I have family.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm back, and I'm very happy to be back. Today's Friday, and I did my second COVID test today. I did one before I flew. And then did one today for me, and I'll know the results I think in the next couple hours. So if it's negative, then I get to go out on Sunday, 2 days from now. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's so lovely that you get to go see your family and everything.
Yeah.
So what? So the incubation time is.
Well, your quarantine time is 10 days, is usual, but 7 days if you have a negative COVID test 3 days before you fly, 2 days before you fly. Yeah.
2 days before you fly, and then they test you again when you've landed.
They test me again. No, they test. You only test you again if you have. They only test you again if you landed. If you didn't do a COVID test before you flew.
Oh, so you didn't do one?
I didn't do one. I just came straight to the hotel, and I've been living in this box.
How is it? How is quarantine in Malaysia?
I mean, I can't complain, but I will. So, isn't that what we all do, people?
Isn't that
are
what
we
Nigel
ever happy?
is known for?
Yeah.
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 So it's they feed us, and there's air conditioning, and it's comfortable. But I'll say you get 3 meals a day, but they're set times, so you don't get to choose when you get your meals, right? So I was jet lagged, and then the breakfast meal comes at 7:30 a.m. So they'll ring the bell, and then I'll wake up because I hear the bell ring, and then it's breakfast, and I take it. I'm like, okay, now I have to eat it soon because it's gonna get cold. I don't have a microwave in the room. So I have to eat it as it arrives, because it's already kind of cold when it arrives here because the hotel's big. They're just passing it out to people. So in that journey, it already got kind of warm, you know. So I just try to eat it. I eat it, and then I go back to bed. I'm still jet lagged, so I wake up at like 12:30, and that's when lunch arrives. So my day starts with eating, back to sleep, eating, and then I start my day.
Nigel, that is literally how I live my life.
Have you been
Why are you
quarantining
complaining?
since?
Why are you? Since birth.
You would love it.
Okay.
Just fly here just to quarantine, and then fly back, and then fly back again.
Yeah. Just
nobody bothers you.
People come with food to your door. Even when I'm at home, I have to go downstairs to the kitchen to get food. Okay. People just leave it outside your door. So spoiled. That's great.
Yeah. Do it. I would say, I think this quarantine, I think if you're in a new relationship, it would be perfect, because what is there to do, right? You know?
Yeah,
there's
you could
nothing
just
to do
talk
but
to.
eat, sleep, and, do the thing Evelyn hasn't done in 10 years. So.
Stop that! People spit on each other now.
Hey, we are going to refrain from talking about that, only because people are complaining to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Last week's episode, Nigel just talked about spitting on people and choking people for half an hour, which is not true. It's not true. I know it sounds like that.
It was 50 minutes and I cut out 20.
No. No. No.
No.
But
Yeah, it is uncomfortable to hear sexually explicit stuff on a podcast, I think. Right?
no. Maybe Team Evelyn is. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think Team Evelyn are uncomfortable with it.
I think it's because it's like when you hear about sex, it's almost like seeing an eclipse. You know, it just happens so rarely that everybody just crowds around. Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You start taking photos.
You're such a dick.
Wear sunglasses. Wear sunglasses. Don't look at it straight. Don't look straight at it. Don't look straight at it.
Oh my god. I will.
It appears in newspapers. You know, tomorrow 12:37 p.m. We're gonna see something we'll never see again in 27 years.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's very funny.
Okay. That's so funny. This is the funniest episode in a while.
I think you think that. Yeah. I think
You don't think
you're
that?
definitely feeling
Have you seen
it.
how much you're laughing?
I am laughing, but also very scared.
Evelyn has nothing to do with this, people. You want to come for someone, you come at me. Okay? She's
Oh,
just a
God.
friend. Come at me. I'm the bad one. Leave Evelyn alone. Let her go to Korea. Don't fuck up her career chances. Otherwise, I'm going to come find you and hunt you down.
Oh my god, that's so funny, Nigel, and so touching. It's really touching,
Thank you.
Nigel. I'm so scared that these aren't jokes, but actually predicament. Like, what's it called?
Predictions.
Predictions. I'm so scared that they're not jokes, but actually predictions.
And listen, I said it here at first, people. If Evelyn, if you ever feel the need to distance yourself from me or throw me under the bus, I won't take it personally. Okay?
Oh my god. I mean, okay, so
I care about you and I care about your career too.
The first thing you said to me when I called you to see what was going on, you were like, hey, thanks or not the first thing, but like the second thing was like, hey, thanks for still sticking around. Like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who do you think I am? And also like, or not that, but like, what do you mean? And then I was like, oh, I totally understand what you said that because of the nature of our industry and the people in it, and and I'm not gonna lie, like, of course I'm thinking about stuff like that too. The thing is, I'm not gonna leave my friend when you're in your hour of need. What kind of a person does that? And also,
And
it's
I would, if you were in my position, I would do the same, right?
would you? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to
thank you.
think, we spend a lot of time together, not just on the podcast and off the podcast too.
Off the podcast.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
And so you have, you are a good judge of my character. And
I am. Yeah.
and yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're just a bit dumb. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it's true. It's very true. Yeah.
No, but it is that thing of like, we know each other. I know what's happened. You've told me what's happened. It's just, I am very sad that it's a complicated situation and you're kind of in a bind and a catch-22. I don't envy you. I worry about you. Yeah. And it's just,
Evelyn, you are a good friend and I appreciate you being here. And for the listeners who are listening to this, please don't mistake Evelyn's gesture of kindness as her supporting any particular political cause. Please don't. Please don't make that logical leap. Okay? I think I have to spell it out. Otherwise, you might be saying as a Nigel apologist.
Nigel apologist. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
She's not. She's just a friend who cares about another friend.
Well, yeah, it's like we're friends, and also like friendship wise, like it's, you're going through something that's super tough at the moment, and you're basically alone. I mean, you are alone in quarantine, but the thing is also, I don't think people don't like, even if you had people around you, they wouldn't understand what you're going through, like the full extent of it, because it's so specific to the industry that you're in. And
You know
it's so
how when
specific.
they show you cyberbullying stuff and it's a kid in a school being cyberbullied by his classmates? Imagine now that school is 6 million people.
Yeah. And it's on your phone.
Yeah.
That you have, like, all over. Yeah, it's a really horrible situation. I actually watched, it was so interesting. I watched a video once with Monica Lewinsky where she did a TED Talk about that, because she was basically one of the first people to be publicly shamed like
But
that.
what year was that? What, carrier pigeons? Huh? Mean comments in carrier pigeons? Letters?
Well, I mean, she had an affair with the president.
like a little letter in a glass bottle on the sea drifting towards her, and she takes it out. You whore! Wow. I feel so bad for her. What we are going through is totally the same thing. Okay, but what's the fact? What, did she have the internet back then? Was the internet around back then?
The internet wasn't around.
See?
Okay, no, Nigel.
A blimp, a little blimp flying through. Monica Lewinsky sucks. A little blimp.
Your friend is trying to empathize with you and offer, like, our listeners an attempt to understand what you're going through. It's not the same. I'm worse, actually. It's worse for me. Oh my
Trying
God.
to do it in a funny way. What? They hire like a few jets to draw clouds in the sky.
Oh my God, Nigel.
Is that how she gets her mean comments?
Oh God.
Yeah. Imagine seeing the thing you work so hard on, for me it's YouTube. Imagine seeing the thing you work so hard on, and then every few seconds, another bullying, another harassing comment, another comment that calls you a pig, another comment, bad shit, every few seconds. And it's slowing a bit now, but just imagine that, and it's something you work so hard on, and for something that you're misunderstood so badly by, and it's for something you can't really fix. So, yeah. But anyways, Monica Lewinsky, TED Talk. Tell me about it. So Monica Lewinsky, what did she say?
She was talking about being publicly shamed, and she was talking about, like, because everybody, when that happened to her, she had an alleged affair with the president, a reigning sitting president at the time, and so it was everywhere, like all of their news, all over the world, and she was basically, she was called a whore and a slut and all of those things, and like she was going through this media circus and incredible, like, just shitstorm, and there was just so much shame involved. Like, people, she was like, it's her personal life, first of all, and she actually loved him, and I saw a documentary about it, and it was like, I was like, wow, you were just a young woman who was seduced by,
See?
the charm, like, of
Love.
an older man.
Love is a car crash, isn't it?
Stop it. Stop. No,
Listeners,
love
if you
is not
don't
a
know
car
what I'm
crash.
talking about, just go to 2 episodes ago. Nigel's heartbroken, that episode. Love is a car crash. And
Love is
Monica
not a car
Lewinsky is the prime example.
Yeah, so if love is a car crash, you're going to end up like Monica Lewinsky, publicly shamed.
She has a book deal.
She does have a
So,
book deal. It's not a car crash, Nigel. It's
It is.
not a okay, if I'm honest, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't even know when a person is interested in me, and, like, I don't know how to reciprocate interest. I'm getting better. Well, you know that mask guy that I mentioned last week?
yeah, the guy you thought was cute.
Yeah, but I don't know what he looks like.
Uh-huh.
So I was back on set this week, and we got on swimmingly, I have to say.
Oh. Was he one of the people who was coughing at you?
No, he wasn't, actually. He wasn't. He wasn't. Oh, this is something. So, I said that I found him cute because he was so dedicated to his work. He was like walking around and like just, you know, really engaged and on top of everything. And this time I came back and he was limping, and I was like, what happened? And he's like, yeah, I broke my toe. And I'm like, you're still working? He's like, yeah. He's like, nobody can do what I do. I'm like, yeah, it's really tough just to fill up some drinks, right? Because he's the props guy. So, you know, like we were joking.
I know what a joke is. Jesus Christ. How patronizing is this woman? You know, like a joke. You know, the stuff you think you do, but, you know, people say you don't do anymore because you have no backbone. You know, like a joke.
Exactly, Nigel. You know? No, but like, so that added some points to it because I'm like, he is working even though he's like broken a toe and limping around. That's hot.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck with your 2 new men in your life. And if this is the last episode ever of Rise to Meet You, I just want my legacy to be, let's get Evelyn laid.
Stop it. Do not play the outro now. Do not play.
Maybe see you next week, people. Just kidding. Bye. I'll be back. You can't cancel me. See you next week. Outro.